Hey, welcome back to the Blue Collar Off-Road Podcast, episode 106. So, I'm Graham. I'm here with Luke and Cody. Richie has the COVID. We had 3 guests cancel on us, but it's fine because we have Curtis. He's our sloppy fourth. He's here to save the day. I don't think he's done anything to his Jeep, so I don't know what we're gonna talk about. It's still broken. But it's Curtis, so I'm sure we'll find something good to talk about here. Luke is laughing, and he's already found a stuffed animal to apparently. This is Curtis is holding up a bear head that's been ripped off by his dog. It's the eyes are gone too. Yeah,
Curtis, when are you gonna fix your shit?
We'll give him the whole play-by-play. Yeah. What's the status?
What's the plan?
Okay, so we have the tube. The tube is in my garage.
Congrats.
Now, how long do we have until we go to Roush?
7 months.
We're not going to Roush. We're going to Good Evening
BR this year.
Wait,
So,
what? Okay,
going
well,
to Good Evening Ranch.
how long till Labor Day? That's what I should say. 7 months?
Like 9 months and
It's
change.
okay.
or
Well,
Labor Day is
8 months.
September, so
Yeah,
you have
almost 10
9
months.
months.
Okay, cool. So I have 8 months and 23 days to figure it out and fix
That's all
it.
you're gonna do? There's nothing else to work on, and you have no other trips coming up? I know last year you did like some other cool things.
I mean,
You're not even doing that? S'more? Well, come
if
on.
I don't know. If I can make it to S'more, I'll probably fix it before then, but that's still Memorial Day. I mean, last weekend in May?
Yeah.
It really, I still have 6 months to fix it.
I guess you do have all
just-
summer and all
Oh, the hard part
spring.
is I have to figure out how to make it so it won't do that again. And
Maybe by adding a
is,
C pillar. I don't know. Crazy thought.
No,
Thought.
not
pillar.
even. If you just cut your halo off, fix the tube, you don't even have to. It's bolted in.
Maybe if you just put your hand in your pants, feel your nutsack, realize that you're being a bitch, and then just fix it. Right?
Cody,
That's how that works.
Calling
was
the
the
kettle black.
I was gonna say, when was the last time I wheeled with you when you had a
it's
Jeep?
the first person I get to shit talk about not fixing their shit. So fuck you guys. That joke's old. Now I get to harass Hackbar. All right, goddamn.
That's fine. You guys are allowed to harass me. I don't know, man. Guys, it'll get fixed at some point.
I keep saying the same thing too.
Or just don't fix it and just add tube.
Honestly, I've thought about just wheeling it the way it is and
It
just
probably
making
would
sure
be
that
fine.
if I do anything stupid, that I cannot have a passenger in there.
The other
Because
thing you
my
could
side's
do.
fine. My side's
Yep.
fine, and the only thing
Yeah.
I can do at this point is make it worse.
I mean,
mean-
it's a junky rear tube, anyways. It's not like the main,
Yeah.
like protective structure for the passenger or driver
And
compartment.
okay, I don't know
so-
if you guys have been watching a lot of these Cherokees that have been flopping over and landing on their lids, but we all need to do something else different with our A-pillars because I've seen in the past 3 months, I've seen 5 rigs that flopped over on their lids and it literally just crushed the A-pillar, crushed that whole front section right in.
I believe it.
rushed it in.
I want to see if I can find a picture. Do you know what is it? Gaddy Terry
Yes.
is?
Oh,
Did
he's
you
the guy
not-
who he was on that video of him going up and he rolls straight back onto the roof,
yes.
right?
And it literally just took those A-pillars and just like that video from the guy from, what is it, Colorado or something like that rolled off the mountain that had just crushed
It was
that
a
whole
girl.
thing in.
It was a 16-year-old girl, but yeah, get it fucking right. Jeez,
Oh, I'm
show some
sorry. Jesus
respect.
Christ.
The
Well,
one that
makes a lot
died
more
was a
sense.
dude.
No, the one that died. Oh, I thought you were talking about the white actually that rolled off the mountain. That
No.
my
We're
bad. Sorry.
talking about.
You're talking about the one where the person's on the trail, then it flopped off. You talking about that
Yeah.
video? Yeah, never mind. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, that
That
was
shit
also
wild.
like a ridiculous. That would be like falling off the trail at Harlan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we should have
that's
trees to catch you at Harland.
See, I don't
Some
know.
spots, yeah.
Honestly, I'm going to say this right now. We should all have made all of our cages out of 2-inch 120 wall and not 1 3/4 because according
they're
to
not heavy
Ultimate
enough.
Yeah, it's
Respect,
funny you
our
mentioned
rigs
that.
are too heavy
Yep.
for 1 3/4 tube.
Yep, I was looking at that. I was talking with Jacob. I forget why we were talking about Ultra 4, like some of the like lower classes. And then we were looking at the rules and it's like, yeah, if it's over like 4,500 pounds, you have to have 2-inch Dom, like as
Yep.
standard
Yep. And
sizing
there's
of
no
tube.
way any of our rigs are under 4,500
No.
pounds.
No.
No.
I mean,
So my only thought on that is like if I were to do it again, I don't know if I would do that. I think I would probably step up to like 188 wall for the A pillar and the B pillar supports.
but the thing is, and this has been proven time and time again. It's just like with my 1.5 inch quarter wall upper link. Now, granted, it was bent, but Charlie did the same thing, and he did the same thing where it literally just started bending that. But an 1.75 inch, 120 wall upper, it won't bend the tube as quickly as it will the 1.5 inch. The wall thickness does not do as much as the large or as the outer diameter does. A larger outer diameter does more than, creates more strength than a thicker wall. That's why I don't know if you've noticed this, but I noticed this a while ago, but they've started gun drilling axle shafts.
Yep.
So that they don't snap off as easily like they like to do, of course. And basically,
What
when
is
you
what is gun drilling for people who don't
basically,
machine things on a regular basis?
well, okay, it's just basically a gun drill is a certain type of drill that is very expensive to run typically, and it drills very, very straight and a very, very nice hole. Like it almost reams the hole while you drill it. It creates just a beautiful surface finish in there and everything. And they basically do that to hollow it out because tube is stronger than solid.
Mhm.
And
What?
I don't understand the
What?
science. You someone explain
I
the science
mean,
to
Okay, so I can. This is
I-
another area
this
that I can actually get into and talk about because it's very similar to drawn metal components versus machine metal components.
that base Luke, can I go first, please?
no.
Basically, the way that it was explained to me, and I'll do this in the dumbest terms possible,
We
and
need
somebody
those.
if I'm wrong, the fact that you have a surface on the outside and a surface on the inside creates more strength than it would if there's no surface on the inside. Does that make sense? So there's like I'm trying to think of the right way to do explain this. That like with a solid, there's no inner surface. It's just all the molecules together. Whereas when you have a piece of tube, you have an outer surface and an inner surface, and something with having those two surfaces creates more strength than having a solid piece of metal.
Are you trying to tell me air molecules are stronger than metal molecules right now? Because
No,
I
no,
call
no, no, no,
bullshit.
no, 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 no. It's not anything to do with air molecules. It's literally just to do with the surface.
so the way
Yeah, it's
I've
a
had it.
surface area thing.
Yeah, it's a surface area thing, basically, where the more surface area that you have, the stronger something's
Luke's
going to
literally
be.
going to explain the whole thing over again. So why did we even have you say anything? Luke, just tell us what it is. Because Luke's not going to just correct you. He's going to tell us the whole thing. So
I
go.
like Curtis's explanation. I think that makes sense.
So essentially, to build off of what Curtis said, when you are dealing with tube, instead of having your quote unquote two walls, if you were to make a section of a part, or I'm sorry, your one wall, when you make a section of a part, you have two walls which are adding strength to it. That's why, for example, if you were to take a piece of sheet metal and you wanted to make a half-inch diameter wall or half-inch diameter, like inch-long piece, and you were to press it out of sheet metal, it would actually be stronger than if you were to machine the exact same thing out of or like a solid chunk. And then the other thing with it is you maintain, especially in the circumstances of DOM, your material is all moving in the same direction, if you will, as far as the molecular structure goes, which is another reason that drawn parts are stronger than like the equivalent machine part. So by folding the metal over and then putting the seam in, assuming that the seam is put in correctly, you end up just following the way that the metal wants to actually be formed. Compared to as a solid chunk, if you get a nick in it or whatever, you create a tear point, and with the double walls, you don't have the same thing.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, it's weird
And
shit. Dude.
there's something with the fact that solid is more likely when you bend to solid, it's more likely to stay in place than tube is. Tube's more likely to come back than a solid is.
I think that you are correct on that, but also another point on that is that with a solid, when you crack a solid, it generally will bend a tube instead of cracking a solid piece of metal. Because once you
Yes.
crack a solid piece of metal, that crack continues to spread until you remove the weak point at the tip of the crack.
Well, I mean that's that's the same concept for sheet metal too, right? So if you're as far as stitch welding versus like fully welding, something like that. If you have one, a chunk of sheet metal tear, if you have it all seam welded, it's going to tear the whole way down. Or if you have it actually stitched, it will only tear theoretically, unless you've got a lot of force on it. 'Cause it's sheet metal, it's not going to tear the whole thing up.
The one thing with that is, if you stitch, you can do basically where you overlap your stitches. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Where you put your 1 inch wide beads, and then you can go back over and fill in the gaps in between, and it does the same thing.
Really? I didn't know
But
that.
the only thing with that is that you add more heat, the heat affected zone. You make
Yeah,
that
which
larger,
kind of compromises it.
which
But
compromises it. So it's not really worth it. But I know, like I welded a oh shit, what was it? Front end loader. I welded a blade on the bucket.
Hmm.
And when I was talking to the guy or talking to one of my coworkers about doing it, he said, do not take and weld like 6 inch long beads on it. Do a bunch of 2 inch ones, evenly spaced, then go back over and in between each one of those, weld it again.
Yep, I've heard that before. That's like when you're doing links, right? If you're doing a circular link and you've got one of those 6-sided bungs, you do one side, then the other side of the bung, and then you flip it and you do it again until you go all the way around, hopping across the tube in a hex pattern, and that actually ends up being stronger.
Yep, because the thing is if you have one continuous weld and it starts to crack, it's going to continue to crack until it hits the end.
Yep.
Makes sense.
So
That's
and
one
the,
area that square tubes are actually surprisingly slightly better than if you were to do a continuous round
I call cap.
weld.
I call
I
cap.
got into an argument one time a long time ago on Facebook with somebody about the fact that square tubing is actually technically stronger to use than round tubing is.
Yeah.
Even it doesn't matter if you run it in like I'll say a diamond shape, or if you run it with the flats in the where the load is going to be, basically where the force is all going to be. It doesn't matter. It is actually technically still stronger.
I think triangle tube actually is stronger. So how about we get more of that? That's
No,
what I want.
I want an octagon tube.
Well,
As many
No.
sides as we can
No,
get
the
without
see
being
the
a circle.
well,
Damn.
I mean,
That's a lot of sides, bro.
realistically though, if we're being, actually like diligent about this, if you could get hex tube, that would probably be pretty fucking strong comparatively.
No, I don't think because I think once you start adding more and more sides to it, it starts
It's
weakening
just a
it.
circle. Yeah.
Because basically a circle is an infinite amount of sides or edges.
No, it's one
So
side. Just like the age-old
no,
question of how many
no,
holes
no,
does a
no.
straw have?
nope.
Is it 2
Technically,
holes or is it 1 hole?
nope. A
Yes.
circle has an infinite amount of sides. I don't know what math
No, it
class
has
you went
one
to.
side, bro.
No,
I was in
this
a
is
college
special
prep
math.
school. What did you mean?
You did what?
I was at a college prep school.
Oh my god.
What,
You're one of those
what
kids?
did you go to an international charter school? I don't think so.
No, I went to
bitch.
public school and it was great. We learned that circles are
Technical high school.
round and yeah.
Yeah. One of the few areas that the technical high school would actually probably be a little bit better than the prep school would
Well,
be.
how many sides does a circle have then, numbnuts?
It would be a
One.
continuous
It's
radius.
one continuous
Guys.
side.
Actually, technically, according to Google and a lot of what I'm reading on here, it technically a circle has 0 sides.
Yeah,
Well,
it's a
then
continuous
we're all
radius.
That
fucking
doesn't make any
retarded. And like,
I guess we're all just
It
fucking
has to have
stupid,
a side.
because it's not technically a line segment.
Oh
I
my
don't know.
God.
I don't know. I always
Okay, so line segments are stronger than non-existent sided shapes.
Sure, we will go with that.
Wow,
Line
this has been
segments.
quite the derailment from A-pillars.
Oh,
Yeah,
hey,
get
Curtis, no,
fucked,
not really.
loser.
I was still talking about tube.
He was so wrong. He left. What a fucking loser.
Oh, he did
And
leave.
he's back.
Wow.
I'm sorry, the autism's running deep today. We went 0 to autistic in about 0.2 seconds.
Well,
oh shit.
Thank you for bringing us back to the main point, being those A-pillars. What
And
do you
autism.
think, Curtis, because you're the one who brought this up, would make the A-pillar area on a Cherokee stronger? Is it the
Door
spreader
bars?
bar? Door
No,
bars?
because
Yeah, because that's
if
still
you-
not
if you-
helping in the
guys,
right
if
angle.
you guys go look at
Two
what
A-pillars.
happened with, I don't know how to pronounce his name, so I'm just going to say Terry. We're just
Gaddy?
going to say Terry.
Gaddy,
Gaddy, whatever. Gaddy.
Gaddy.
We'll call him Gaddy.
I
Oh,
keep hearing
Daddy.
daddy, so I'm just gonna call him
Daddy.
daddy.
Okay.
Yeah, what
we'll call
happened to
him
daddy?
He almost got squished by his A-pillar, apparently, it sounds like.
Damn,
no,
daddy almost died.
Basically, what his did is, and I just looked at a picture as soon as I said something to you guys about it. Right where it connects to the B pillar, it bent, is where it bent. So you would almost have to have something, like basically
By
it
the
took
B
bend
pillar?
no, I'm gonna post a picture of it. Basically, it took and it bent the two bends on the A pillar. It literally, the one down by where the fender would be, it bent that further in. The one up top on the roof line, it bent it straight out, and then it continued to bend from where the B pillar support is. I'm gonna post a picture in the group.
Okay, yeah,
chat
I'm
so
gonna
you guys
need a
can see
picture.
it. I'm going for the Facebook one because I don't know how to do the other one.
So it didn't it didn't invert from A-pillar to halo. It bent further back.
You can.
Oh, it looks like it tried to just flatten out the initial
bends.
bend in the
So you-
A-pillar, and
My
then it pulled the halo down as it made the bend in the A-pillar
Literally,
sharper.
I don't think there's anything that you could do that would allow you to get in and out of the Jeep, because the only thing that I would say is you should run a support from your B pillar up to that note or that bend on the
wow.
A. Like, what else?
What
would you
about
do?
what about okay, so what if you were to do a spreader bar, but you did it in kind of like a V formation, going like halfway up down to like the lowest point of your like slider, or like I guess of your door area, and then having it reach back up to the B. I mean, it's not
But you
fantastic,
don't want
but
vertical tube. You don't like vertical tubes with this kind of stuff.
okay, so then well, that wouldn't be vertical, it'd be horizontal if that's
It's
what you're
hard.
referring to. Because what about like let's say you use an Ultra 4 car for an example, they usually run two A pillars, one dropping 90, one going forwards at a 45-ish. I mean, obviously my angles might be a little off, but
It's a good point. Like, you could totally do something like that. It would just make it a motherfucker to get in and out.
yeah,
Well, that's what I'm saying is realistically, the only way you could do it is you'd make it a bitch to get in and out of that thing.
Yep.
yeah,
So-
but I mean, so as we've already said, Cherokees fucking suck. Stop trying to make
Yes.
yours last forever. Build a fucking chassis. Boom.
Yes.
All right, we
Thank
learned
you,
our
Cody. I
answer.
appreciate you. Let's go over. Podcast over. Let's go home.
Unfortunately, that's not how this works.
Oh, damn.
But
Yeah, you have to stay.
Dang
yeah,
it.
you're
stuck.
trapped here for the
I mean,
rest of the episode.
honestly, that's a pretty impressive bend.
Yeah.
I mean, short of doing what Cody said and like do a double A or having some sort of extra support there, I don't think there's anything you can do about that other than like having some ugly ass support coming from your center node B pillar to like you'd have to have your spreader bar to I guess to that connecting point on the spreader bar. That's like the only way, and even then you're putting
Yeah.
tube like right in your face, so if that breaks you're fucked. So
I
So
was thinking
another
that.
Realistically, with the way these things are designed, there's no good way to do it.
I'd honestly, looking at that thing and knowing how that thing rolled, I'd be fine with that.
I
I
would be
wouldn't
too,
care.
because I know that. Okay, now granted, that too, I probably would have been. I probably would get a concussion in my Jeep if that happened to me.
Graham said
That's
it to me.
just because It's in
Huh?
the group chat, Cody.
Oh,
It's
that's
on
so
the
much
Facebook
effort.
group chat.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'll put it in. I'll save it for you.
No, it's
So you
fine.
don't
I'm
have to
already
work.
here. I'm already here.
Lazy fuck.
Damn, that shit's fucked. Maybe he's just a bad fabricator. Let's just throw that into the mix.
I don't
Oh.
know. That cage is very well built. I would not.
Classic
I mean, there's
cookie
no.
cutter Cherokee cage. It looks
think
like
it
all
just-
of ours. I mean, it could have been any of ours.
You know, to
Yeah, it
go back
literally-
to it,
Oh,
what Cody said though is actually fucking totally correct here. That's one of those areas where the double A pillar would have fucking mattered, and we're not
Yeah.
in that area.
yeah. I think that nobody wheels with a double A pillar. I think Jason's the only one that has
Jace.
one.
Yep. And I
What's his face? Ross Davis's old buggy had one.
Oh,
Yeah.
Whoever
did.
the new, I forget the new guy's name, but
I
have
gotta
to.
fucking hit him up too. We've been meaning to talk with him. Cool dude.
damn bought not built. Crazy.
Yeah, bottom built rig.
He fucking beats it harder than Ross Davis did though, and that's saying something.
I don't know about that. I never saw Ross beat that rig up, but
Beat it like a redheaded
I mean,
stepchild.
I heard
Well,
some
Ross
of
is the
Colin's
redheaded
fantasies, so
stepchild. So, yeah. Going back to it though, like what happened with that rig, I think that maybe if you were to put a support bar going across the top of the door between the B and the C to act or to form like another triangle in there, that might have helped. Another thing that might have helped would have been to have came off of the bottom of the bend on the A pillar.
guys,
Or a door bar.
what about this? What do you guys think if there was a piece of bent tube that was almost like an oh shit handle on both
That's
of those
what I'm
bends?
talking about.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about. But you
Might
can't
have
have a
helped.
door then.
No, then you can't have doors. So
Yes, you can't just chop your door.
No, because then you
Oh.
can't have the window and you'll lose the whole section of frame because the
Just
frame's
still
gonna
have
hit.
a door.
I mean, technically it would be a half door at that point. Yeah, I
No,
guess.
no, I'm just saying, just cut it like a U. It'll be fine. Cut the shape onto the door of what the.
I think Cody's retarded.
No, I think it
Yeah.
makes sense.
I think you could get away with it with a half door, Cody. I don't think you could get
Yeah.
away with
Oh,
a
yeah,
full
yeah.
door.
I
Yeah,
have
no, I
to
know, I
like
just-
look at what your actual spacing is like, but yeah, I don't know. It's not there's not a lot of room to keep things factory and do a double A pillar in a way that would connect them and make it actually functional. It's one like if you have two separate A pillars, that does nothing. Like now you're just bending two tubes. Right.
And
There has to be some sort of
ultimately-
triangulation.
Ultimately, my thought on this ends up coming back to everything's a compromise in wheeling. And when you start with an original compromise being that it's a unibody vehicle, you're going to continue to have more compromises that stack up, and that rollover and the crushing of that A pillar is just that. It's nothing bad. It's just the end result of continuous compromises in building an XJ.
There's always an chromoly. If you just build
fr-
out of
Guys, the
Change the
freaking
three-quarter
helicock
chromo.
suckers are here.
the what?
That thing is
Question: do we want to still throw Eddie in? He just texted me back and said he's good.
Oh no
Okay,
shit! Yeah,
throw him in.
toss him in.
Hold on, let me double
I
check.
want to hear
What
what
in the
happened to
fuck?
his shit.
You know, Eddie, he has that Toyota and the yellow
Had
Yellow
the Toyota.
XJ
I think you
buggy.
got rid of it, right?
well, we'll find that out once he gets in here.
Hold on, let me just double check. I texted him, was like, oh shit, we already started, and then then I mentioned it to you guys. But hold on, we'll talk about that in the future.
Okay.
Either way,
How much? But okay, adding a double A, is that really going to give you
No,
all the
I don't think
support
so.
that you need? Personally, for me,
Double A isn't going to do anything because you're just putting another tube in parallel. If the first one's bending, why isn't it? I mean, there might be a little bit more resistance, but there's no geometry. The geometry isn't there. It's like having a suck down winch in your fucking Jeep when you don't need one because you just didn't build it right. Like,
so we're gonna get back to some really weird theory that's related to my job, but a lot of the time when you're putting a double bend into parts, you have to thicken the material up in there to be able to get the strength that you need in order to get said bend. And I was told by an old guy that when you do something like that and you double the material thickness in that area, um, and double the material thickness in the double bend, essentially what you end up doing is creating 1.5 times the strength. So if you have two pillars, my theory is, following what that guy was saying, that it would probably be about 1.5 times stronger, because even though it's double the material, like Graham just said, you have the same bend.
Yep.
All right.
I mean,
Sorry for the monologue there, but
No,
there's-
it's all good.
if the tube wasn't bent, like if somehow you were able to design an A-pillar that was just a straight tube that met up with some other tubes in
I
between.
wonder what Luke's would do in that situation, with it being the weld right there instead of a bend, a notch and weld.
I don't think it would have made a difference, because it looks like it just.
the
You know
only
what?
thing that my rig actually would
Ooh.
have going for it in that situation is the fact that that whole area for the first foot of my cage is sleeved with 250 wall. So,
No.
or
I
it's
do have a
sleeved up to
question.
250 wall.
Yeah, what's up, Cody?
I don't want to take away from what Luke was just saying, because I think that is important too. That he does have it sleeved for what, like fucking 2 feet. We slammed that thing back there in the
It's a
front.
foot and a half each side.
It's in there. I mean, you should have saw Richie. I think was sweating his ass off slamming this thing in there. It was awesome.
10
Anyways.
pound sledge in there. Like we expanded the tube out.
Yeah, it was hilarious. Now, what if you were to boat side, come up about, you'd have to come up almost 2 feet probably, right? To get, and then run, what would you average out the gap to be from the bottom of the door to the top of like your fender line that you'd run your tube to the front bumper? What would you say, 2.5?
Well, where are
Got
you
no
putting the
clue.
slider? If you're boat siding it, you said you're going high. Are you going like,
Fucking high. And then
like
so,
above the
door
lower
latch?
door hinge?
About as high as I am?
yeah,
or-
no, higher, because think of this. What if you could run a 45? So you would run your fender bar, I don't know what to call that. You know what people put under their fender to their front bumper. And in that same area, you run as straight of a tube as you could up to as your A-pillar. And I mean,
So going off of what I was kind of saying, right? Where you don't have a bend in it?
kind of, yeah. I was kind of building off that.
I don't
yeah.
know if that would help. I mean, it might resist bending a little bit because it's not pre-kinked, but I don't know if that's like, if you're in a slam situation like that, if it's actually going to help you that much, right?
So
Um,
another thought that I'm wondering about now that I'm thinking on this a little bit more, right? I've got a 2-door, and so because I have the 2-door and I've got the fucking barn door in there, I wonder if I could actually get away with that, right? Because the section of my door is much larger, so I would have more room to get out if I were to run a vertical bar right there straight down and integrate that into my door bar.
The problem is you don't want vertical bars. You don't want horizontal bars. Everything at an angle. I still don't understand that. The science
how would-
behind that one.
I
How
couldn't
would
get away with
you-
putting an angle in there per se, unless it were to come off of the bottom of the A-pillar and then run up to match up to the cage. And at that point in time, like, I guess that would work out, but I think it would look fucking heinous. I'd rather have the vertical bar in there, and that's coming from me with my spaghetti cage.
Curtis, you're saying that exterior vertical bars are a no, right?
Well,
Because if you are, I understand why.
yes.
But is it for the reason of? Is it because you get hung up on them? Because that's the reason I always see.
It just means
thrown
like any
around, or just
side load. He's saying like any load pushed onto it in any force, sideways, backwards, left, right, it can be affected. Where
Yeah,
a bar
that's
at a
right.
45
That's why everybody
has,
always says angles. Angles on your
Yeah.
cages are the best because it creates
supported.
more support in different directions rather than just one. If you put
Yes.
that bar straight up and down, unless you land directly on that lid, like literally dropped it straight down, it doesn't create the strength that you would get from a bar that would run at a 45, where you could come back and land on it and still have most of the strength from it.
Yeah. Think of it like a
More.
In
straw.
order to be able to get in and out, though, you'd have to put a bend into that at some point. And now you've got bent tube that's running at
Yep.
an angle. So, what up, Eddie?
Eddie. How we doing, buddy? Oh, he's
Oh, he's
muted.
muted. Womp womp.
You there, Eddie?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Yes,
what's
now.
up, buddy?
Welcome
Right
to the
on.
party.
How are you?
We're doing
We're-
good. We're talking about cages and stuff. So if you
And
want
how, yeah, Cherokee cages flatten apparently if you roll straight back onto your roof, like the A pillar. There's actually a picture in chat of a
One.
Yeah, I'll send
Gaddy's
it to you.
rig.
it's in the
I see
genre.
that. Yeah. Who would have guessed?
Yeah, well, we're just trying to figure out like if there was any way to prevent that, and I don't. We haven't come up with anything good yet. I don't think there is. It's sort of just is the reality of it, XJ, I guess. But
Take the doors off your XJ and it folds in half.
yeah, pretty
Basically.
much.
I hate that a door
Speaking
is
of
even considered
folding and-
structural.
Half. I do want to kind of get an understanding of what the hell happened to your rig.
A lot.
Before we
Oh.
get to that, though, Eddie, do you know Curtis, aka Hackbar?
Don't think I do.
Hi,
heard
Eddie.
the-
I'm Curtis. I'm their special needs friend.
Yeah, he's got
It seems to be a reoccurring trend here.
yeah. Well, I'm Trail Trash's special needs friend. He's ours. You know, it just happens.
No judgment.
He's
Uh.
got a white XJ, tons 42s, 42
Orlink rear.
stickies. You know, just the usual ORIs. Good dude.
Twisted up
Cookie
cage.
cutter build.
Yeah, cookie cutter build. Completely like every
Giant
other
pile of
1 ton
shit.
tubed Cherokee that's white. There's a lot of them.
Literally the biggest pile of rolling shit you will ever see in your life.
Oh, it is pretty dumb. I don't even think your lights work. They do weird shit.
What lights?
Exactly.
No, what?
Yeah, like the ones that
Oh.
your dashboard, how it lights up more when you hit the brake light. And like
Oh,
other
I know
weird
why
shit.
that is. I know why that is. I know why
Uh-huh.
that.
Uh-huh.
That's because they're
Of course you
literally when I was
Then why
cutting
haven't
the
you fixed
floor,
it?
when I was cutting all the fucking floor in the back out, I hit the wiring harness that runs to the back. I figured, fuck it, I'll just leave it.
Yeah.
At least
Well,
if the
you
rig
did.
burns to the ground, I'll get insurance money out of it.
You have that thing insured?
Mm-hmm.
Do it, pussy. You won't.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I have it
Mine's
insured
insured.
for. I had it
Mine's insured.
appraised, and it's insured for 12,000.
That's not bad.
Really?
Wow.
Yep.
Mine's appraised at, or I had mine insured with a 20K policy. So
Yeah. And I probably should not, because that was when I had pit bulls on it still. Now that I got the stickies and the machetes, I should probably get it insured for more.
Just a little bit. I mean, not
I mean,
too much.
I'd probably jump it up to 16.
honestly, just get the 20. For the difference between doing a 10 and a 20 for my rig was $5 a month, and I don't care about $5 a month if my rig catches fire and burns down.
Well, the thing is I have to have it appraised, so I have to show that it's worth 20, and I highly
Really?
doubt I can do that anymore.
Yeah,
Don't
mine
show them the
insurance-
side that's
I don't-
caved in.
Yeah, just send pictures of the one side, the driver's side. Don't show them the passenger side. That's literally looks like a tin can.
yeah.
Did you have to have a title to get insurance on yours, or just a VIN?
Oh, well, so mine is titled and registered in the state of Michigan still.
Yeah, mine's in Tennessee, Eddie. So mine was just they asked for the VIN number, and because
So,
I had
yeah.
registration, I gave that to them when I handed them the VIN, but they only asked for the VIN.
That's interesting. I may have to look into that.
Yeah, it's not terrible.
Honestly, a lot of people talked about it when I started building it because a whole bunch of people, what was it? Nick LeBlanc's rig had just burned down. Someone else's rig had just lit on fire and burned down too. Oh, my buddy Alan from Wisconsin, his rig burned down. And everybody was talking about, like, we have all this money wrapped up in these rigs, and if they burn to the ground on the trail, most of the time you're literally just 100% shit out of luck. You lose everything. At least this way, if it burns to the ground, I'm getting something out of it.
Yeah, I absolutely agree.
I was just saying, if my shit burns to the ground, we're gonna figure out how the fuck to get those tires off there as fast as we can. That's all I care about. I don't give a shit about anything else on that rig.
Get the
60.
Milwaukee.
It's called the fire extinguisher, and you put the fire out, you fuck. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, except when your fuel cell starts leaking.
Yeah.
Yikes.
So we take the fuel cell, we throw it into the woods, we stomp on it like
So you're gonna pull the fuel cell out of my Jeep while it's on fire.
bro, what the fuck? I'll do it for the boys. What do you mean?
Smoking the Bear does not approve.
This is why we like you.
Back to Eddie. What's the new rig and what happened to it?
Hold on, one more question. Have you guys seen the trailer for the new movie Cocaine Bear?
No.
Where a plane crashes.
How does this have anything to do with
it? Doesn't. It nothing. Literally nothing. Not even
Smokey the Bear. It came from the Smokey the Bear comments. That's got to be what it is.
No, it was so a drug plane was traveling through like the woods. It crashed, and then a bear found the cocaine, ate a full kilo. Like based on a true story, by the way. True story was
it
like
happened in Kentucky on the Tennessee border.
Love it. Granted, the bear died in real life, but in this movie, he goes on a rampage, and it's fucking hilarious. So
that bear his best life for a little while, though.
Oh hell yeah! But anyways, go ahead. Sorry, Eddie. I just had to throw that out because I was thinking about it.
No, you're good. But it's 89 40, 231 AW4, just factory Cherokee drivetrain. Much nothing left Cherokee, body wise from the firewall back. It's cut off right behind the seats, the back half, right behind the front seats. It got a 60 rear. It had a 44 front in it, but we all know what happened with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the saddest part about it is the axle itself. It's what held the axle to the body, and the frame is what let go and caused the chaos.
Jeez.
So is that your whole cross members all messed up?
Well, it started. It's got because it still had the cast wedges, so it still had the radius.
Oh, they just put those stupid cast wedges in. Okay.
Yeah. Well, it had them on still. And
so
go ahead.
Yeah. So what broke then? Because I'm familiar with those because my buddy Jacob's got a truck that he's debating running with those stupid arms. They don't seem that strong. It doesn't seem like an application. I don't think rock crawling is the application for them.
Well, what happened was
what broke on them? Yeah.
They had cut the radius arms off close to the wedge.
Yep.
And then they slid a piece of tube over, like they cut the tube down the middle and slid it over the flat part of the radius arm, and then welded it together there. But it was only like 1-inch tube that they used from extremely weak shit that I should have addressed before I ever took it out, but I was in such a hurry to get it out there I really didn't care. And it lasted all day Thursday and all day Friday. And then one of them Friday night was on a night ride, and one of them broke. So I backed up. I run my rear winch under the Jeep to the front axle, snug the front axle back up where it needed to be, and then winched it up the top of the hill so I wasn't clogging up. And then it got up there side, and it broke that side, and then the front axle just totally rolled and destroyed everything attached to it in the process. And springs flopped out, shocks are cashed, track bar went away. It shoved the pinion into the oil pan, and the damn I just had a brain fart. But yeah, shoved it up into the oil pan, and then it went through the inspection, or the little inspection area on the bottom there. It went through that and started grinding on the flywheel.
Oh God.
Shit.
Oh God, it was awful. And then the whole recovery snowballed into, fuck this, let's rip this whole axle, put it in somebody else's Jeep, and just wagging this thing out, man. That was the simplest solution at the time. Beer had nothing to do with it either.
Never.
Now, how did you get it up onto the back of his rig? Onto oh God, I'm fucking brain farting on his name. Dwight's rig. How did you get it up there?
He
a
run
tree
his
in the winch.
Well, he run his winch cable from the front over the top of his cage and hooked to the front of mine, and then I run my front winch to the top of his cage, and we just winched it up on there. And the first time we did it, it worked for like 8 feet. And then the winch cable broke and it fell flat to the ground.
Oh, shit.
It was spectacular. We did that probably at least 3 or 4 times before we got it out to flat enough area where we could get it to where we want it. And the end game was like pretty much on his B pillar. And then once we finally got it there, it was pretty smooth sailing, but getting it to that point was a mess, to say the least.
Yeah, it's always... And it seems like it's always a nightmare when your entire axle rips out of the vehicle.
Yeah. Honestly, if we would have pulled the axle all the way out to begin, we'd have probably fared better, just because there's that much less weight and that much less in the way trying to winch it up the back of somebody else's cage.
Yep, true. So I guess no, go. Sorry.
It was crazy. There was probably at least close to 40 rigs on this night ride too, and there wasn't a minute that I wasn't, trying to make something happen, and there wasn't 10 people there either handing me a beer or a damn Yeti cup full of something or asking what I needed. I'm like, damn, this couldn't be any better. As bad as this sucks.
So what's the plan for it now? Obviously, I don't think you're putting a 44 back in it, especially not with that suspension.
Looking at a 05 up 60 swap.
Okay. Keeping the rear?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep the rear. I've got a 70 in my Toyota, and it's lived for over 2.5 years now. So I mean,
You still got the Yoda, right?
I do, yeah.
Okay, we were wondering about that before.
Nope, I've still got it. I just picked this one up on a good deal and couldn't use it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean it's a pretty slick looking rig.
So when you scrapping it, so I can rob the body from you. I'm talking about the Yoda, not the XJ, of course.
I don't know, man. The Yoda's just been too good to know if I can. I don't know if I have it in my heart to get rid of it.
Oh, sentimental value. See, that's the worst thing for people. You just can't be attached to things. You got to let them go, man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
$500
specifically to Cody. Yeah.
$500. No, I have zero mechanical sympathy. I don't know. I'm weird. I'm really fucking weird.
I mean, a lot of sympathy for my rig, but it's just the sheer amount of time and my friend's time that is into that rig that it feels like a disservice to just unless the parts are going to something better.
See, I felt the same about my ex, and then she cheated on me. So like that hoe.
Yeah, well,
don't worry. My friends put a lot of time into her too. I promise. Oh, that was gross.
That was fucked up, dude. But unlike your ex, right? Mine only requires a fuel pump to be happy. It doesn't require my
I just beat that until it worked. I don't know. Crazy how the things happen. Just like your Jeep, it's fine. Everything's fine.
I swear to God, my Jeep does not run good unless it's getting fucking beat on.
Dude, sometimes you just gotta work them. It's fine. Everything will be fine.
Like, how the fuck did that shitbox make it through Shoot the Moon with no problems, and then the entire beatdown after Shoot the Moon?
Well, because Shoot the Moon isn't hard anymore.
No,
that's the real answer.
The moon is so easy after Graham moved that giant rock in the middle of the fucking trail.
I'm getting exposed right now.
I know. Didn't I cracked that rock in half, and then it moved half of it, right?
Yes.
Yeah. My diff landed right on it and smacked it. I don't know how.
Well, you guys had to have heard of what happened with Jason and Nick when we were on the east side of the park?
No.
Where I was going up something, and I went up, and my Jeep came up, and it started pushing the rock that they were standing on, and then my Jeep turned sideways while I was up in the air and pointed right at them and kept driving right at them, and I almost ran both of them over.
Oh my God.
They're terrible. I suppose
really
I didn't hear that, so that's news to me. I guess they didn't want to talk about you almost running them over. Dumbass.
Hey, they shouldn't have been standing there. It's not my fault.
Yeah, fair.
My only thought, Eddie, going back to your rig, is in my mind it makes a little bit more sense to maybe sell the 60U and just go straight to a 10.5. If you're already building one, why not build the other? Because like it's just a gear set and brackets.
Well, if he already has it, what's the gear
Yeah, but
ratio on it? Out of curiosity, 513.
513.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes it tough.
Yeah,
Right,
see with the
you go to
05 up
538.
though, it's lighter than the rear. So either I buy 8 on 170 wheels and run a spacer on the back. Well, I'm going to have to buy 8 on 170 wheels. Excuse me.
Hey,
And run
you want to
spacer on
become
the
my
back.
best friend? I got a set of stock Ford rims sitting under my parents' pool deck right now. If you want them, you pay shipping; they're yours.
No, I don't
Wow.
know if I don't know if those will work for the 05 though.
Why?
Clear the.
I don't think they clear the high steer
The
knuckles.
offset.
Yeah.
They're off. It would be the high
Oh.
steers, but yeah.
You can get away with it on the 04, but you can't on the 05s.
That's
Um,
gay.
But yeah, back to where I was going with that, Eddie, right? Like you're talking about having different wheel patterns. You've got 513s already, and you're going to be building a front 60. So if you could sell the front 60, if you can sell the rear 60 for the cost of buying the brackets and buying the gear set, just go straight to a 10.5, disc brakes, all of that stuff right off the rip. And you've got matching front and rear lug patterns, a slightly stronger rear axle, easier to
14
get
Yeah.
bolt.
for.
Definitely a thought.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you could sell those as a pair, you might be able to
14
make a
bolt.
good buck off it, right? Sometimes it's hard to sell like
I'm hearing 14 bolt rear front steer 14 bolt is the only answer. That's all I
Yes.
can think of. With some
14
USD
bolts
stickies.
everywhere. 14
Yeah.
bolts swap the world.
Actually, build your cage out of 14 bolts, and then no matter what direction it impacts, it'll just be fine.
Yes.
And then think of all the cubbies you could have, dude. Just have the dips facing inwards, and then you have snack cubbies, and one could be a cooler cubby. Bro, you could set up a twisted tea bag. You could run a line to your mouth. Dude, this is a foolproof plan. I see nothing going wrong.
I love
there's
you,
a bunch of
Cody.
fucking straws running out of the pinion housing.
What are you guys drinking? Diff fluid, pussy. What are you drinking? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You're a dick, Cody.
Fuck. But yeah, I mean,
Cage.
I do like the Yamaha design, though. I mean, I know that probably wasn't what the guy was intending, but like I think it was the 2011s. They did like the retro theme Yamahas, and
The anniversary edition.
yeah, those things were sick.
Yeah, I totally dig the paint scheme on it. Everybody's like, you need to paint over that. I'm like, I really like it. I mean,
Yeah.
where else have you seen that on a full size rig somewhere?
Yeah.
No, it's definitely fucking cool.
What aggravates me the most about it is, somebody took all the time to do, all the skins and the cage work and the back half and all that good shit, and then they, totally skipped out on the front suspension. I was like, come on, man, all this time and money you put into this, and you're going to hold up there.
Now, do you think it went through a few hands in the first guy to do the body with somebody else? Like, think of like what Graham's dealing with, where somebody built the Green Goblin bullshit, whatever you want to call it, and then
Shrek, you asshole.
He sold it. Oh, Shrek, sorry. He sold it to another guy who then cobbled it all up, took the 4-link out, built it for Leafs, right? Graham?
Yeah,
What a peak poor decision.
Literally, it frustrates me to no end. You can tell the difference between like the original guy who built it and his fab work versus the guy who fucked it up. And I've literally at this point cut everything that the guy who previously put shit on it off, except for like some really crappy, annoying brackets that aren't in the way. They're just there. So there's no point in me cutting them off. But literally everything had to get cut off that guy put on. And there was some stuff that was not fun. But I can understand. I mean, if it's one dude who did the whole thing, it's probably tougher to see that.
I don't know.
I don't
You
know.
could probably look at my rig and see all the shit that I did previously, and then look at it or continue looking at it and see how much better I got as I was building it. Because there is some stuff
Yeah,
from when I built that thing the first time. Like I'll put it out there. My frame stiffeners. They are not welded on very well. The welds on those, I am ashamed of.
Nobody's frame stiffeners look good. Let's be honest
No.
here, except for Marvell's. Marvell's are fucking insane.
I don't know how he welded those on that nicely. He's actually a good welder. I'm really impressed with that.
It is insane how like my fronts, dude. Oh, fucking chef's kiss, buddy. They fucking great. My mids look like, as I've said many times, I was the one who welded them, so it was not good at all.
Yeah, there's one area that I welded on there that's actually almost okay, but it's only almost okay.
Yeah, and then Richie's almost okay area, and then the rest are just like
you let Richie weld on that thing.
No, I paid him $20 because I was so tired of it. I was like, bro, you want to see this spot for $20? He was like, yeah, literally like slid under there instantly. It was great. Because I was being a bitch. Good times.
Hey, if they're not falling off, they're welded good enough,
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it doesn't take much to hold 3/16 onto like baby China Mopar metal, honestly. Like
it really doesn't.
It's
like 3 pieces of paper stacked together.
The bar is very low. You might be better off with 3 pieces of paper. I think it'll have more tensile strength.
Well, I got a fun one. My stiffeners right next to where the cross member goes. I don't know if you guys remember. I know Eddie and Curtis probably have no clue about this, but it's fucking tearing the unibody apart as the stiffeners rolling with the cross member bending up. It's ripping the top of the fucking unibody out.
I was gonna say where my supports for my rock sliders are on the unibody, it seems to be ripping those out. Yeah. Ripping those off. Even though they're all welded, they're all plug welded and everything. Yeah, that come off the frame rails.
Well, see, the trick is to just smack the stiffener on rock, so you're crumpling it with the unibody, so it all gets stronger, and you just continue to add shit to it. So then it just becomes this massive Mopar metal and crappily welded 3/16.
I like start slapping fish plates everywhere.
Yeah, pretty much. More fish plates.
My solution:
if you see a crack, just fish plate.
My solution for what I've got.
Drill out either end of the crack. Just fish plate it.
No.
I mean, actually taking care of the crack.
Curtis, there's no point. It's going to be filled with cracks. Like you can drill and grind your cracks, but they're always going to come back. Like there's just going to be more.
Yeah. So my solution to my current problem is that whenever I actually take the rig down to, work on it, I'm just going to slap another set of kicker panels off of my rocker right to where it's tearing. So hopefully it takes the rocker with it now. It seems like it's logical too. Yeah, take the whole rocker off of the fucking door. It'll be fine. The welds on the rocker are mint.
I hate this. I hate it. No, stop it.
No, this is peak Cherokee conversation. Everyone here has a Cherokee. It's perfect. Before Eddie was you were an odd man out because you had a Cherokee, but you didn't have a Cherokee. Now you have a Cherokee with the axle that's ripped out of the front of it, and although that's like a Ford suspension thing, that's not even. I don't know if I can blame the Cherokee on that, but
it's wrapped in a Cherokee. It's peak. Close enough.
Yeah, it's peak Cherokee conversation.
Cherokee used.
Yeah.
So how was the rest of AOP?
It was awesome, man. Thursday during the day was dry, man. It was great wheeling. It was a little bit wet, but nothing knocked the dust down. And then Thursday night it rained a little bit. It was a little slick Friday morning and Friday around lunch, but it finally dried up towards the end of the day there. And it was awesome. It was good wheeling all weekend. We went home Saturday morning after the destruction. But for the 2 days, it was hard to beat, man. We had a bunch of good people up there and rode just about everything we wanted to.
Yeah, I'm kind of pissed. I was supposed to go up either Saturday or Sunday because I was going to grab a seat with Sam. I don't know what happened there, but
you're telling me I could have gone to AOP?
Yeah, that's why I was trying to get you to go.
Damn it!
And then
shit, Curtis.
I was in North Carolina already.
Yeah, I was trying to get you to go. That's why I asked if you.
I did not have the Jeep though.
Yeah, I know. And my rig currently has the steering problem.
Yeah, fuck you, died. Curtis, you dumb bitch.
Yeah, he'll be back in a second. Yep.
There he is.
Speaking of, so my rig's currently got the steering box problem that I have to address. It's fucking like one of the hydro lines is absolutely.
You know what would fix that?
pissing.
Full hydro.
Interesting.
No, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't.
And then I've got the bent link that I have to deal with, and the fuel
No, you
pump
don't.
situation. I got to
That's
deal with
just
the
a
fuel
hydro
pump
link, huh?
situation at the very least. I don't care about having to put a quart of fluid in it a day. That's fine. The fact that it won't run because it kept shitting fuel pumps, and then I got a new fuel cell that didn't fit my fuel cell mount, and now I'm just being lazy and waiting for Barnes to ship mine or my new mount. So yeah, that's where I'm at. But I was talking with Casey as well, and I was potentially going to ride with him. Then his brother ended up going, and then he broke. So
There was a lot of breaking.
it seemed like that.
I feel like that's the theme for AOP. I did finally get around to watching the Rain of Rocks they did there. That was pretty cool. That section of Little Caesars they were on, though, it didn't look like the spot that I was looking at.
They did
went down
not
there.
do the first ledge.
Okay. I was going to say,
They
like,
went around the first
I wanted
ledge
to see the
and
first
up
lead.
of it.
That's the cool trail.
Yeah, that's like the impassable part.
I know, but I'd like that would make it that much more impressive. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I get their argument on that too. You know, if we have a video of 10 rigs going 80 feet. It's going to be really boring and not a great video. So
Yeah.
It would have
That's
been
fair.
interesting though to watch Overtime absolutely fucking hammer on that thing.
Yeah, I
Trying
mean,
to
he
get up
might have
that-
made it. Him and that FJ guy, I forget his name, were killing it up until the transmission on the FJ just blew in half. That was a little sad.
y'all have seen that spot in person, right?
Yeah.
No,
I
I
have.
have not.
Where Little
It-
Caesars as a whole,
recently,
or just
it's gotten so much worse.
yeah? I looked at it in the dark and it was like about to rain, so I didn't look at it too closely. But it's a gnarly trail, and you can see that in the video.
Yeah.
The fact that you can see that in the video is, you know it's bad when you can tell that it's already nasty.
Yeah, and that was, like I said, that wasn't even the worst of it. That was the above the first ledge and
Yep.
easing on out the top, and it was we did it 2 trips ago. Two times ago when we went to AOP. We did the part they did in the video. We did that part, and they think there was 6 of us, and only one of us actually went up it without pulling cable.
Shit.
And it was dry that day.
Wow.
Yeah, those rocks over there on that side of the park are a different kind of rock than everything else.
Oh,
in the
yeah,
park. Those are so hard and polished, and they just have no abrasiveness to them.
Yeah, and you need to have like 42s and some
Wheel speed.
decent horsepower and just pray you make it up. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think anybody who made it up some of those obstacles in the second half were doing anything. There was no technical crawling there. That's just hold it straight and hit the gas pedal and just pray it makes it. I don't think
What
there's
was
any
that
The
rhyme
worst
or
part
reason.
about it, the only one that made it up with us last time we was out there was a samurai buggy on 39 Reds. Just petered right up it.
Oh shoot!
Really?
He
Interesting.
pulled on it for a minute, but it went.
Well, he's a samurai guy, so they're pretty good at that. They
Yeah,
can crawl, but they also can beat the crap out of those things.
yeah. He was
Well,
on
it's funny how it
44.
goes.
What was that quote from Overtime? It was like I did something with my right foot, and then my brain did a little bit of calculation, and it went.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like
Love
that
it.
dude's a hoot.
Yeah, he's funny.
Yeah,
We always talked.
like a good time.
We did the same thing with Dwight. We talked with Dwight like right before his, what was he on? Was it? It wasn't Rain of
Rocks and
Rocks.
rollovers.
Yeah, but it wasn't a Rain of Rocks. No, it was.
Yeah, it was.
Oh no shit. Yeah. So we've talked with him and Overtime, like right before their Rain of Rocks videos come out. It was pretty funny.
I think that's what made it so that Dee Dee's video or podcast was the most popular one too, because it just like so perfectly coincided with the timing. We released ours, I think it was a day after.
Yeah, it was pretty coincidental, and it sucked because we couldn't talk to him. Like he had mentioned that he had done something. I don't know what exactly he said, but he was, for obviously because they were trying to release the videos, and he couldn't really say much about the Rain of Rock stuff. But it sucked because we could have talked to him about that if we had, delayed him a little bit or something. But
yeah, they kept that whole event because I went with him to that event, and they kept it pretty hush for a while.
No, it was pretty good. I mean, it was a good it's probably one of their better Rain of Rocks series, honestly.
Yeah, that was a fun one to be at.
Yeah, they're getting better at it for sure. Not that the original ones were bad, but they're just, I think their cuts are getting better, and they're doing some more interesting stuff. So
yeah, they're definitely getting the full throttle aspect of it more included now.
Well, I mean, they stick. It's interesting. They stick around, and I could be wrong. Maybe they go to places out west, but it seems like they're mostly in like the Tennessee area. I think every time it's been AOP or Windrock or one of those parks, right?
Well, they went to Texas for one of them.
Oh, yeah, they did do Potemsi
we talked
for that
to
one.
Nick LeBlanc with that.
Yep.
But I think that one thing I will add is Tennessee wheeling really lends itself to that type of video cutting and whatnot, because it's all always sloppy and it's all always a rev limiter beatdown.
Unless it's really dry. And then you just putter up things.
It is the exciting wheeling, though. Like what actually comes through on camera well. And like if everybody was just going up to fucking Utah and just putzing up the fucking rock walls, it's like, oh wow, that's cool. You're not getting the scale. You're not there to feel it out. You're not the one in the rig, so you don't feel the same, emotions. So at least with like down south, you get the wheel speed, the engine noise, and the tires slinging mud as they're bouncing up and down trail. I mean,
yeah, brother.
Exactly. So I mean, I totally get why they stay down in that area.
Like if we were gonna film a video of us beating on stuff, I would do it at like Richie's place because
with
of
a
Richie's
stick
place
in that goat or sheep or whatever, right?
The goat.
I don't give a shit about the goat. But
he said if we were gonna take a video of us beating on something, it'd probably be with a stick in the sheep. I don't know. If we do a dog, it's pretty fucked up. So like, I can't do a dog. Jeez.
Why do I hear banjos?
Probably because
what is going on with a sheep and a goat at Richie's house?
Isn't there a country song about when you start hearing banjos? I don't know. Fuck.
No, it's Deliverance, you idiot.
Sorry, Eddie.
Start paddling.
No, so Richie had this sheep that got loose, and it ran away from the guy's house that owned it. It ended up deciding that it was going to chill at Richie's house on the side of the highway. It caused multiple accidents on the highway, and then they finally
for quite a while. It was like 3 weeks or longer that it was just chilling in their property. And we went down one weekend to wheel, and they finally caught it in this like fenced area that was the garden. So they put some like plywood to keep him in, and they almost had him like corralled into this little trailer they were putting him in, and then he just plows through the fence and back into the woods. So then he was, gone again. And I think
it finally got shot and butchered. But my point was, like, if we were going to do a recording of a video, Richie's place would be good because it's a lot of wheel speed crawling and stuff like that.
Well, if we cut it back, it's way overgrown right now, which we've already talked about. But
and where is this?
It's in Connecticut.
Oh yeah, just a short trip for me at least.
Yeah,
probably.
You want to be a part of the video?
Not worth it. It's a great spot to wheel, but like, it's not worth it if you're not in that area.
No, if you were to come up, you would hit multiple different parks from around the area. It wouldn't be worth staying at one spot unless it was Field and Forest. I guess that'd be the only spot, or like Roush or something. But
I don't even know about Roush.
For somebody new, absolutely, I'd say
for someone new, it's worth it. But like, I've been there
Yeah.
4 times now. I'm over it.
Roush?
Yeah, I get a lot of mixed opinions about that place.
Yeah.
Roush is
all right.
cool.
Compared to anything that we got in Michigan, Roush is fucking sick. But I am so fucking over wheeling driving 12 hours to wheel the same fucking shit every year. I want something new.
Yeah, and that's perfectly reasonable. So Roush is a really good park if it's 5 hours away from you and you're okay with paying $260 to wheel a weekend.
Well,
Cool.
you got to remember when we wheel, it's what? We did Thursday, Friday, and Saturday this year? Or no, we did Friday,
No,
Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
I know
wheeled
your bitch
Friday
ass
and
did that
Saturday,
earlier.
and it was like $240 or
Yeah,
something like
it's
that.
fucking ridiculous the prices that you pay for it.
Is
I
that
say,
like
I think
national forestry land
Well,
or
they
government
get
funded?
no private
they
owned
they get you because they make you do a
membership.
membership, which costs
It's
like
like what you have to do
$80 or
at
some shit.
Harlan, where you have to buy like the month membership. Or
Yeah, but in
Yeah, but even
Harlan,
at
it's like
Harlan, it's only like
$20,
$30 or something.
and then you're
yeah,
good
and
for the month.
you only pay for the freaking pass. You don't pay to go into the park. Shit, I think between all of us, we probably had. There's no way we all spent more than $170 for the entire weekend, and that was including the cabin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that was really cheap.
When we went to Good Evening, it was $173 for everyone in the cabin, with the cabin included.
I would love to go there.
Dude, that place is fucking awesome. It's a little on the small side, but it's a lot more like New England wheeling compared to what you're used to, Eddie.
It's got some more interesting rock formations than New England, though. Like with some of those like ravines and things that you'd be driving through, and like you don't. There's no properties in New England, at least, that have anything like that.
But the thing that I was getting to though is like you drive a little while and you're at an obstacle. Then you drive another little while and you're at an obstacle. And the only way that you get more than like 5 minutes on the fucking trail, if you will, is if you're coming out of the backside of the property, it's like 10 minutes on the greens to get out of there.
Yeah,
But-
it's not like fucking Roush where you could spend 45 minutes driving around the park, or hell, even s'more for that matter. I swear there was times when I went to, or that like last year when we were at S'more, we'd spend an hour and a half just getting to a trail that we wanted to get to. No, it doesn't help that my fucking pile of hot garbage decides to overheat every 30 seconds.
Yeah, you should fix that. Have you fixed that one yet?
One of the things I'm going to do this winter is I want to pull the head off, and I want to make sure that the intake manifold's not cracked and that the head is still good. I'm going to be fucking pissed if that head's not good anymore after all the work I put into it.
But grind it, grind it flat and slap it back on, or don't.
If it's cracked, that means I got to buy a new head and
polish
the head.
I got a Cherokee head I can give you.
Okay, I mean, if you're gonna give me the head, which head is it? If it's an 0331 head, I don't want it.
I've got a 2000 motor and I've got a 90 something motor, so take your pick.
Probably the 90 something, because the 2000 is going to be an 0331.
Unless it's been replaced, I don't know.
I'm trying to remember. Whatever head came on this Jeep is the one that float. No, on mine. Mine doesn't have an 0331. It's 97.
Yeah, you don't. You've got a good flowing. I don't know what you're talking about. But I know the Tuppy heads are
really good flowing one. I have whatever one flowed the most, and then I pour it and polish.
It's a 4.0. None of them flow well. None of them.
One of them's better than the other.
No, it doesn't. None of
flows
them flow
okay compared to the others. But back to where I was going with that, Eddie. It's just super sick because like there is never a dull moment when you're wheeling at Good Evening Ranch. The only dull moment is if you drive to the back side of the property and want to crawl all the way back up to the front side of the property, the drive to the back of the property. It's fucking sick.
It's also pretty slow when you don't have any rear drive and you try to leave.
Yeah, well, you had to get towed out of there.
Or when you blow up your front axle at Harlan and have to go down the sketchy ass hill.
That and your
And
brake
almost
lines
kill,
and your tire.
almost kill Morgan.
Yeah.
Yeah, poor Morgan.
I had one-wheel drive
dummy.
I had one-wheel drive, and Colin was like, "Come on, just go down that hill." It's like, dude, I can't stop. I have no traction now. I'm like one thing. We slid our way down. I somehow didn't die, other than that one time we almost died. But
Yeah, it was fine.
we made it out. It was a controlled death, if anything.
Graham, I love how you took
Yeah.
a picture of that and posted it in the group.
I had to because I wasn't gonna make a
A
scene,
scene
of you
about
holding
it
up
again,
of your-
like the world when we were talking with Nick. Cody just goes, "What the fuck are you doing, Curtis?"
Or weren't you like jerking it off or something? It was something
No, I
weird.
just-
It was something weird falling out, bro.
Nick has the video of it. I'm gonna
Oh,
And
see.
nobody has any context for what we're even talking about right now. He was
So
holding
Curtis's
He's
dog.
fucking a stuffed bear. That's what's happening.
Yeah. So
all
Curtis's
fucking
dog
lovely,
has
dude.
a weird thing where he likes to rip the eyes out of toys, I guess. That's or head off of it, whatever.
No,
it may
I
be.
ripped the toys off, or I ripped the eyes out because otherwise he'll dumbass.
You have the
them.
weird problem of ripping the eyes out?
I ripped the fucking
Bro,
eyes off so his dumbass doesn't
No,
eat them.
no.
Why are
That's
you ripping
bullshit.
the dog toys apart?
Why are you getting
Walk it
dog
away.
toys
They're
that have
fucking
fucking
stuffed-
eyes?
They're fucking stuffed animals from Goodwill because they're $1 a piece, and he destroys
Your
them in
dog
30 seconds.
deserves better, bro. What the
No,
fuck? Good-
I can't afford
You
better.
over
I got
here-
a fucking Jeep and a buggy
You
to build.
You have stickies and fucking machetes, and your dog's getting $1 Goodwill having ass fucking toys
Man,
that you got.
that
That
motherfucker
you
needs
have to scoop the eyes out of with a rusty spoon. But yeah, we're bad people. Okay, I get it. I mean, I understand. I do understand that you don't want your dog eating the eyes. I understand. But yes, so Curtis likes to rip the eyes out, play with them in his hands, while then holding the stuffed animal through its eye sockets and like taunting us through the camera. It's something interesting. Yeah. Yep.
I have to do it every single podcast now. We started with that fucking duck. Do you remember that, Cody?
The duck, yes, with the duck head. Yes, you were holding the duck head on your thumb or something. Wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's too funny. Jeez.
Dude,
So
yeah.
Sorry, guys.
all right, you said you're building a buggy in the beginning of the podcast, Curtis. Is this actually a thing, or are you just fucking around?
He doesn't know.
Oh, it legitimately is a thing. I you know what? Fuck this. I'll be right back. We'll go in the garage a minute. And you can see this.
Yes,
But
the people
you're
listening
actually-
are going to
you have
love
progress?
seeing they're gonna love seeing this through their ear holes. It's gonna be fantastic.
Yeah, I know. Everyone at
Just
least can
listen
see that
real
there is-
close with your eyes.
You got to
Okay,
describe
now
the
I-
whole scene for him.
Yep.
All right, so we walk into my musty ass garage with my broken ass shit box. You see it there? Yeah, everybody can see
Yep.
it.
You didn't even close the door. What's
Look
wrong
at-
with you?
I did close the door. See, look at that shit. Oh, fucking mint condition.
At least it has an axle in the front. Be happy. Jeez,
Clearance.
dude.
Mm. God. I envy you at the moment.
So, see this? Is it clean enough to
No.
fix the start?
Oh,
Yes,
the
it
fix.
is.
Oh, yes. Okay, yes. Then yes.
Fix the
Do
Jeep.
you
and
have
then
a
get
chassis
started on
table,
the
or are you
buggy?
gonna do it on your fucked up ass floor?
How
I
much
have
tube
one at
is
work.
that?
What kind of a question is that?
Probably 200 feet, if I had to guess.
No, it doesn't look like 200.
No, it's
Or like 180.
400. No.
400?
Yeah, Graham,
Yeah.
get fucked, pussy. What?
How long are those
Calling me
sticks?
out.
40 feet?
They look about 20 footers, maybe bigger.
No, but he only had like
We
8
had
of them
six-
in that pile. That's not 400 feet.
There's
unless those
9.
are
Yeah.
40-foot sticks.
They're 9.
So they would have
They're
to
nine
be
in
sticks.
there.
they'd have to be 40 feet average to even get close. So I think you
Yeah.
have 200 feet, but I think you got to fucking
You might need to
jip.
remeasure.
Yeah, dude. I don't think those are 40 feet.
I mean, 250 feet might build
Sorry,
a buggy,
I lied.
but it's
I
going to
lied.
be a little buggy.
We bought, Charlie and I both bought, between us, we bought 600 foot, and I thought he only took It looks like he took more. Because I brought it to my house originally, and then he came and picked the stuff up when I wasn't here. Because he was only he only paid for 4 sticks of it. Because I had there's 600 feet total. So yeah, there has to be. He must have taken a hell of a lot more than I thought he did. I got to talk to him now that I'm thinking about this.
And only
Yeah,
paid for 4.
Yeah, you're getting
Yeah,
ripped off.
never mind. All right. That kid's getting
That's an
fucked.
expensive conversation.
Yeah, what kind of
Yeah.
friends you got out there in Missouri,
Hey,
Michigan,
man.
wherever the fuck it is?
Hey. I don't know, man.
Dude,
He did
sounds like the
all
dude
of the
builds
tube
his-
bend. Okay,
yeah.
shut the fuck up. I hate when people say that. He did the tube bending and came up with
why
a lot
did
of
you do
really
your
good
own
ideas.
tube bending? Can't
I
you
don't
just
have a
go
tube
like
bender.
fee fi fo fum and just okay 45?
Okay, let me just go to Harbor Freight and go buy me a nice good old tube kinker a minute.
Hey, don't make fun of the tube kinkers. They come in handy for a 1.5 inch quarter wall when you're doing like little bends and track bars and stuff.
Yes, they do. But no, there was 600 foot. I'm pretty sure he brought some to his barn because we're going to start the chassis at his house or at his girlfriend's house in their barn and then move from there. But I do have a piece of 1/2 inch thick steel that I'm about to throw in a mill this weekend, actually, to drill a bunch of holes in and start working from that. And then I will put that basically I'll be making a chassis table.
Okay.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Now, are you just gonna build a chassis from scratch?
Technically, both Charlie and I will be building a chassis table, and then when it's all said and done, because I got the steel, he's gonna help me with tube bending. He's gonna basically the chassis table is gonna be his when I'm done with it.
Oh my god, you're getting screwed.
Yeah,
How?
you're getting fucked. Learn to weld.
I got that
pussy.
piece
got
of
all
1/2
your
inch
tube,
steel for
fuck.
free.
You got what for free?
I got that piece of 4x8 sheet of 1/2 inch steel for free. All I got to do is put some fucking holes in it and weld some feet on it.
No.
Give
You
it to
need-
me.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you
Just
need
give
to
it to
have
me
the
for free.
table fucking level and plumb and straight and everything? You know,
Yeah,
nice.
it's gonna have
and even?
adjustable feet. Oh my god.
You're okay. You can't even build a C pillar,
Non-machinist
but
bitching
you're
about
gonna
machinist. It's
hold
great.
on. You're gonna hold on. So you can't even build a C pillar right, but you're expected to make something level. I don't know, man. I don't think I can. I don't believe it.
Okay. I
I
mean,
don't
dude,
believe
let's
it.
be honest. Have you ever looked at my cage? Nothing is actually square.
No.
Nothing
The
was
whole
square from the
vehicle's
Look
beginning.
at any Cherokee cage up close, and I guarantee you will find something that is off. You can.
Yeah.
You're
It
working
wasn't-
with an imperfect platform that nobody has put a. Unless you have like a 0 mile XJ that's never been driven or done anything, nobody's done anything with it. Then it's gonna
if
be
you started
tweaked.
with
You're fucked.
a granny driven XJ, yeah, it's gonna be straight. But if you do anything other than that,
Hi. I had one, and then
yeah,
I
had one
drove
too.
it.
Mine was beautiful at one point.
All of ours were beautiful at one point.
So
Have you
was
seen the
my
pictures
ex.
of mine when it was a baby?
I still missed when my Jeep was on 33s. It was
I
so
don't.
pretty.
Simpler times.
That's like saying you liked your dick before you hit puberty, man. That don't make sense, man.
Why
Yeah,
are you talking about children's dicks, you fucking
I'm talking about
weirdo?
you.
I hope
yours.
I hope
Oh,
you
I
get
hope nobody listens to this. I've talked to myself a few times here today.
I hope you get arrested for that.
No, I was talking about you. You.
Well, this one won't be
You.
on YouTube. We know that for sure.
Oh, it's been gone. It's done. It's
And we
cooked.
was talking about giving head earlier. Now we're talking about baby dicks.
Oh no!
Should we go right to the raccoons?
I haven't asked for a raccoon fact in a long time. It's been a while.
You got
Man.
one.
How many raccoons can you fit in your asshole?
Clearly not as many as you. I haven't been practicing, so.
I've only been practicing because I got to keep up for Colin.
Well, yeah, with all the eye transplants that you've been doing on the stuffed bears, I'm sure you're just practicing with those too while you're at it.
Hey,
A little
man.
preseason before they
man.
go to your dog.
I God, we are fucked in the head.
No, it's just me. It's just me. I'm overtired, so I do apologize for my idiocy this episode. There has been nothing constructive to come from my mouth this whole entire episode. Maybe the double A pillar thing. That's about it.
Does anything constructive come out of your mouth anytime?
No, not really, to be fair. Yeah, no. Nope. I still got nothing. I'm drawing a blank. If I think of something, I'll tell you though.
Yeah, just
okay, thanks.
We need our random fact. You can just interject whenever you have one. Oh, that'd be great.
Random fact for the day. Lobsters don't die. They just continue to grow and get crushed under their own exoskeleton.
Did you know that with a shark, you can manipulate its movements with its nose and like grabbing its fin, and you can flip it upside down?
Does it die?
No, you just can flip it. So like you can literally like.
What's the point?
Then you can kill it, dude. Like so, like if a shark's attacking you, you grab its nose and you like grab the fin under it and you flip the fucker on its back.
Easier said than done. I don't know. If you ever tried to grab somebody's
nose
trying to bite you?
Why don't we just let you?
The only reason I even know this is because I asked my coworkers today. I was like, "What's the biggest herbivore that you think that you could fight and win barehanded?" And then like, "What's the biggest carnivore you think you could fight?" But with a knife, but it's all in its environment. So like, I was thinking kangaroo because all right, it's in the woods. Maybe I'll find a rock. I'll fuck.
No.
Up,
there are no
dude.
kangaroos in the woods. They're in like
where do kangaroos live?
They're in Australia.
Outback.
You think there's rocks? There's no rocks in Australia that I can pick
forest. It's not a forest, that's for sure.
What? So
kangaroo in the forest.
And then I said that I could fuck up a bear for even though yes, bears are omnivores, whatever. But I think I could fuck up a bear with a knife. What do you guys think? You think I could do it?
I'm pretty sure I could fuck up a bear with a gun.
What kind of bear?
Brown or black bear, because grizzly ain't fucking
have to be the black one. You fucking racist.
Oh my god! Oh my god! You are fucking terrible. No, just because black bears are smaller than like I don't know a grizzly. No, I'm not taking on a grizzly the size of my minivan. Like they're not that big, but still,
it's gotta be a polar bear, and you have to be naked.
All I have is a knife.
Yeah.
What? Ain't no fucking way, dude. But yeah, so then I asked my coworkers this because for some reason I felt that this was a good conversation to have with them. And then one coworker said a shark, which I thought was fucking crazy because like again, it's a shark like that. You can't breathe underwater, so now you're underwater with just a knife, and like now you're trying to stab this thing, and then
a knife.
Yeah,
say that like 6 more times.
A fucking knife.
It's just a knife.
It's a knife. But yeah, so that's how that conversation came up. And then he showed me a video. He was like, "Dude, I could take on a shark all day. Check this video." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." Like, I guess maybe there's a chance. So yeah, that's how that conversation came up and how I knew that. So, what do you think's the biggest you could take on with just your bare hands?
Probably you.
I could fuck you up. Let's go. Let's
no, you could.
No, is he a herbivore or a carnivore?
He's
what are you classifying him as?
I'm pretty sure I've seen him eat a veggie or two.
I was gonna say you're a fucking carnivore because all the meat you're sucking. Oh shit. Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever seen Curtis eat a vegetable, honestly.
Bullshit.
What are you talking about? In his breakfast burritos, he definitely throws peppers in there. That's technically a fruit. There's seeds, so like maybe I'm wrong.
I've only seen him bring that deer meat around, mystery meat.
Green peas. Or not green peas. Fuck. Asparagus. We had the asparagus.
Oh yeah, who the fuck brings asparagus to Roush?
Nick
Yeah, that's
did.
a really good fucking question. We gotta have a discussion with Nick about that.
It was great.
Speaking
of Parmesan cheese, garlic, and butter, dude, shit fucking slapped with those fucking tenderloins.
Welcome back, Luke.
This guy, can somebody teach him how to use his phone? He clearly can't figure it out.
No, we're just gonna leave him alone. I've been here. I just haven't had anything constructive to add to the conversation because
I haven't either.
I'm not going to go after any particular animal, especially when I could stay strapped or get clapped. And, I'm willing
That's
to make
because
my bets on
pussies
that.
use guns, dude. I want to see
Nah,
bare
dude.
hand.
That's
I
fine.
want.
Do you see
Smart
this
people
beard?
use guns.
There's a reason for the beard, Gotta keep it fuzzy, if you will.
See, I feel like Eddie's up for the adventure. What you fighting, Eddie?
For my life, probably.
Yeah. This is like worst case scenario. You're stuck in the Jeep. You got no tools or form of weapon, and just
I'm driving the fucking Jeep over the animal. What are
Point.
you talking about?
What if you lose an axle,
went that
bro?
guy.
What
I'm
if you
still
lose an-
gonna send it. I don't care if my fucking ball joints pop apart.
As long as there's enough forward motion, it'll be okay.
Or I guess you
Momentum
could
is
just
key.
you could kind of like maybe if you had doors, you could like hide in the Jeep. But I don't know.
Speaking of ball joints, Curtis, where are my ball joint eliminators?
Yeah, about that.
Yeah,
Oh,
are those
wow.
still coming? You think someday?
One day, maybe, probably not. I don't know.
Okay.
Didn't he
Okay.
pay for
Just
him?
send
you
me the
fucker?
prints.
No,
I'll
he
fuck
didn't.
No,
He
I
didn't
haven't
pay
paid
for
shit.
them.
Oh, then who cares? It's fine. It'll be fine.
They were they were free. They're going to be free to him.
Yeah, but they're never coming, so it
Well,
doesn't matter.
yeah, well, the problem is I don't even know if I have enough material to do them. Plus, I haven't done them at this shop, so that means like I got to program all this shit. And I know I
Well, you
sound
just
like a lazy.
leave your files in the machine at your old job. You just
different
left it there?
machines. I can't translate the files over because they're two different machines, and
That's
it's all
not how
done
it works.
conversation. Yes, it is.
I don't think it is.
Unless you can, I actually have the files saved on a USB drive. If you can figure out how to get those files changed into an NC code and then sent that NC code over to me and then change it back to the conversational programming that I have on the machine now, then yeah, I'll gladly do it for you.
All right, bet. Give them to me.
Okay. I'll send them over in the morning.
Just tell me what you need them to be, and I'll work on it.
They
Bet
need
you
to
I
be
can do it.
They literally need to get turned into text files. And they should
Text files, okay.
You got to figure out how to turn them into NC files, and then NC files get turned into text files, and then they have to get turned back into a conversational file for the different machine, which uses different. Yeah, I can't explain it to you.
No, I don't think you need to. I think it's you're right, machine dependent. I don't know.
Because of them being different machines, I can't literally just take the old programs and put them on the new one. The one I have now, or that I use now.
That's
But
annoying. Well,
it really wouldn't take that much for me to actually do it. It's just I'm lazy. Okay.
I bet you
So are
even
you
if
building these?
I do. I have
Oh,
them
cool.
on my rig. I'm the wait. Let's see. Me and one other person have them on our rigs, on our 05 pluses.
who's the other person that isn't me?
No. Well, technically, Colin has a set.
There's
And then
non-existing axles.
he has no 5 plus.
No,
Does he
Colin
really, though?
doesn't do anything though. That's the thing.
Yeah, I mean, so Graham, you should go over to Colin's parents sometime and steal them from him.
He has them?
No,
Yeah.
he has a set. Yeah,
That little bitch.
and he has a set of.
He doesn't
tube
need
clamps.
those. Those aren't going to be in a rig for another 5 years.
Yeah, so
They're
you
going to be
should
sitting
take
in his parents' bedroom.
I'm pretty sure it was either that. I'm pretty
Hold
sure I
on.
made. You need to get. It's either him or Jared Ray that has a set. Maybe he only had the tube clamps and he never got the ball joint eliminators. I don't remember.
We need to hurry up and get that program figured out. I need a set of those.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what the worst part is? Do you know how much just the fucking bearing bronze for those things costs?
Oh, it's
Just
high as
the bearing bronze itself is like $40, $50.
Oh my god, cry about $40 fucking.
Yeah, fuck you.
Aren't you like a machinist? Shouldn't you be making money?
Yep.
What are you selling them for, though?
Well, I don't sell them. I've never sold them. Everybody that has them, I've built them for free.
Well, that's a real
$3.99.
bad business practice.
Yeah, let me
The
get on
ROI
Well,
the
it's
list.
not supposed to be a business practice.
The ROI on that is just screaming bad practice.
You're out of. Oh my god, I can't even talk. You don't have a choice in the matter. You're making ball joint eliminators.
I literally just built.
Give me a price.
Honestly, I told you that I would tell you a price. I'd tell you what I had into them, or money wise, that and shipping, and that was it.
I say you just send him money, Graham, until he sends them back, and then he either sends them with money or he asks for more in return. That's a foolproof plan, because right now, you're just harassing him about things. Not harassing him. You're asking for something that's not existent.
Just forcibly try to send him money through Venmo or something until he accepts.
No. It has to be.
Colin did that. Colin sent me money, and it took me like 4 months to send him the stuff.
Hey, 4 months is faster than the 2 years you've been asking.
Guys, they've already been done. They were already done, and they literally just sat there. I was just too lazy to go to the post office.
That's because he didn't
send
enough money.
I don't know if you guys have realized this, but I've become very lazy.
You should fix that.
I'm working on it. Thank you.
I'm glad to hear it. Maybe someday we won't have to deal with lazy Curtis. It'll be
maybe if I move to New England, Curtis. I won't be so lazy. Graham, can I move in with you?
Yeah. He's looking at a 1-bedroom place right now, though. I don't know how that'll work.
You can sleep on my couch or in my bed. I don't care.
The living room's huge, so I mean, it could
I love
work.
that. You can sleep in my bed. We could have a slumber party.
Wait, no dog's allowed on the bed. Curtis can't sleep on the bed.
Yeah. What about the dog? Can the dog join? I think the dog would grow on Graham.
That's weird.
I don't mind dogs as long as it's not. As long as I don't have to own the dog. I love dogs. I just don't want to have to deal with all the messy parts of owning a dog, right? Like,
yeah, that makes sense.
Take him out every morning or walking him every day. I mean, I know that's like part of the experience, and that's
that's why I can't leave here, because I can just let him out and he roams in the yard.
Yeah. I mean, what if he comes back with eyeballs though in his mouth?
Yeah. What if
then it's a problem.
With a rabbit one morning.
He did?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Weird.
Hey, he killed it.
That's sick. Good for him, dude. That's more than you shot this year.
It's because I haven't even gone hunting yet.
While your dog's out, filling in, he's putting in the work, and you're just slacking.
I know I am, man. It happens.
So when are you gonna go hunting?
I go hunting next weekend.
Cool.
I don't care how far. I'm taking the 338, so I don't give a shit how fucking far away that deer is. I'm shooting it.
Oh boy.
I don't give a shit if it's in the next county over. I'm still shooting it.
Oh my gosh. So what's the average distance that you'd want with a 338?
You understand?
This is an off-road podcast.
I could literally shoot over a mile with that thing if I wanted to.
Honestly, Curtis, I'd give you $500 if you could shoot over a mile.
A 338 can shoot over a mile.
Accurate.
He wasn't talking about. He wasn't talking about the 338. He was talking about you.
Well, I'm saying both. I don't know. Like, what's your preferred range with the 338? I don't know.
For a deer, I think I've just shot one at 400 with it.
Hell yeah, I'd say it's suitable. That's suitable.
It wasn't a good shot, but it hit it, and it did die eventually. I probably would never shoot that far again with it at a deer or an animal. But
also, correct me if I'm wrong though, but that's like 195, or isn't it like a 275 bullet weight on that thing? They're fucking heavy motherfuckers, moving pretty fucking quick.
I'd have to go inside.
I just know that they're a big motherfucking bullet. But like personally, I'm a 300-yard shooter. So I wouldn't shoot anything past 300 yards comfortably.
I'm more of a hand-to-hand combat kind of a guy.
See, I think it's 250. I think the ones that the polymer tip ones that I have right now are 250 or something in that range. They might be a little less because I wanted a little bit more range out of them. Because I figure if I'm using a 30-38 that I definitely need a lot of range, but
no, powder is good, flavoring for the animal. It'll be fine. Yeah.
But when the bullet doesn't start tumbling, it doesn't really do shit to it.
Yeah,
It just goes through. It
tumble,
doesn't.
like
Okay. So what you're saying is you need to get an old school Mosin, cut it down into like a
You know
1
what's
foot
funny?
barrel.
The first deer I ever shot was with a fucking Mosin.
Really?
Uh-huh.
So get that same gun, cut it down, so now the tumbling effect happens almost instantly. I mean, I've seen what's his name? What's his name, Luke? What's his name? The gun.
Thumb?
Yes, you seen that video where it literally he does the paper and instantly it starts tumbling? It's fucking
So there's
awesome.
the good kind of tumbling and the bad kind of tumbling, and the good kind of tumbling comes from velocity. The bad kind comes from cutting it too short.
Oh.
Yep.
See, I'm clueless, okay? I don't know.
Why don't you not talk about stuff you're clueless about?
Things
Like
I'm
wheeling
not clueless
and
about.
fixing your shit.
Well, if you guys want to talk about, commercial toilets, we could get into spuds and how if you don't tighten them enough, then the vacuum seal will not work, and then you have like
when
a
you install a
2.5
spud in
gallon.
your Jeep.
I just installed a spud into a toilet today. It was great.
I'll install a
Like,
spud into
when are you
you.
putting one in your
Cody.
Jeep?
Cody, we
Well,
put a spud in your driver's seat.
You could. I could bring one with me next time and just set it there if you guys
That would be
want.
hilarious.
Or we could talk about putting in an LED ballast into an emergency light. I know a little bit about that. No machinist stuff or mechanical things, but I got a little bit of
You don't need
knowledge.
Yeah,
that. I
anything
mean-
useful Cody knows nothing about.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but when your house needs fixing, don't give me a fucking call, pussy. All right, I get it. It's fine. Yeah. Yeah, I remember the
Joke's
washer
on you.
for
None
me.
of us own houses except for
Washers are
Curtis.
easy. Yeah.
Why don't you
Washers
come fix
are-
my washer then?
I probably could actually. That's the washing machines are simple. There's only a few things that make them work, and if it don't work, it's broken. Sorry.
Yeah, it's broken.
Ugh, fuck. All right, do we end this here? I feel like we have devolved for the past hour and a half. So like things are not getting better.
Does
Eddie
that mean I can go
Curtis.
get my Chick-fil-A that's been sitting outside the door for the
Why
last
didn't
half
you go
hour?
get it?
Because
he's not allowed. He's not allowed to eat until he's finished.
Yeah,
Well,
'cause I'm
Eddie and
getting too
Curtis,
distracted by the food.
Okay.
Sorry.
Eddie and Curtis, thank you for coming on. You guys are awesome.
No, Luke, you don't have to lie to me.
Yeah, I mean, I've been
Cody, how do you
awkward.
really feel about me being on here?
Me? I think
Yeah.
you're great. I think you're a fantastic form of education to not do drugs.
He's a poster child.
And every time we
Marijuana,
talk to the
just
mentally
one.
retarded, we get a tax write-off. So don't worry. This is their little Make-A-Wish kid.
Man, y'all getting a hell of a return if you get that.
They got 2 on this episode. What the fuck?
No, I'm just kidding, Curtis. Honestly, I love you, dude. Your comedic effect with everything you do and say is fantastic. Eddie,
Every once in a while, he comes in with a technical fact that's actually relevant.
oh no, dude! I mean, the beginning
Once in a while,
conversation,
I say something
strong.
that's smart. Most of
It
the time,
was-
it's not.
it started out incredible. We might get like a new listener who's like, "Oh, dude, this is sick," and then
And
they're
then
like,
they're gonna
hand-to-hand combat, beating shit with sticks. What the hell is wrong with you guys? Like,
Baby's dicks.
that's yeah.
Thank
We
you
don't.
for
We
coming
didn't.
on as well. You're always the comedic relief. And, I didn't know it was possible to fucking strap a Cherokee to a YJ.
That
On the
was
cage. That was cool.
Yeah, and the short notice stuff, guys. I know you guys neither
Yeah.
were planning on jumping on tonight, and
Honestly, when the second I saw Luke call me, I was like, "What night is it? It's Tuesday night."
can only be
Wonder
one
what
thing.
Luke wants.
I'll take some partial blame for that situation.
No. You were very short notice, and you're not home either. So you get a pass. I'm just bad because I didn't see the message before we started recording, and like that's my fault, not yours. So don't worry.
Hell,
Oh
it's
shit,
all
my
good.
dog's outside the door.
Well, on that
But
note,
he's probably eating your Chick-fil-A, bro. You better get it.
Get the
Damn.
eyes out of it,
About
quick!
something.
Yeah, get the eyes out of the Chick-fil-A.
we got to cut this.
All right, I'm cutting it
Bring
here.
me my Chick-fil-A-ing.